Prime Minister celebrates third Indigenous heritage in Australia's Arnhem Land. Tuberculosis infection rate surges as Timor-Leste scales up contact tracing and prevention. Vitrectomy machine donation to help those awaiting retinal surgery. Indigenous fashion hits the runaway in Darwin, Australia. Hello, welcome back to RTTL World News. I'm Zeri Madeira. Prime Minister Sanana Gusmao has used Australia's largest Indigenous cultural gathering to highlight the deep cultural ties between Timorese and the Yurok people of Arnhem Land. His visit to the Garma Festival also reinforced Timor-Leste and Australia's growing partnership built on shared history, mutual respect, and regional cooperation.
Separated by the Timor Sea, but united by ancient cultures.
Our histories and cultures are different, but both have been shaped by ancient traditions and by long struggles to protect our identity and determine our own future.
Timor-Leste's Prime Minister Sanana Gusmao joined political and community leaders in Arnhem Land to celebrate the Garma Festival, one of Australia's largest celebrations of Indigenous culture.
Your visit is a continuation of our connection and a reminder that you are the people of the crocodile and the fire.
The Prime Minister reflected on the shared values that connect the Timorese people and Yolngu people of Arnhem Land.
Timorese culture also reaches back through untold generations. It lives in our many languages, our sacred houses, our ceremonies, and in the relationship between families, ancestors, the land, and the spirits of our people.
Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong met with Prime Minister Gusmao at the festival to discuss the Parceria Phone by Era Phone, or a new partnership for a new era.
Backing Timor-Leste's successful bid to join Southeast Asian nations as a member of ASEAN and amplifying your voice in regional and global decision-making. Partnering with Timor-Leste in support of your autonomy and your economic development.
Prime Minister Gusmao proposed to strengthen the friendship between the two cultures through an agreement of friendship and shared cultural understanding, and creating opportunities for elders, young people, artists, and community leaders to visit one another.
By coming together to share our experience, culture, and knowledge, we can strengthen not only our communities, but our region as a whole.
Reinforcing the growing ties between Timor-Leste and Australia, grounded in culture, history, and mutual respect. Vicky Madeira, RTTL World News.
Timor-Leste's health authority and its development partners are expanding tuberculosis contact tracing and preventive treatment as infection cases continue to rise. But despite those efforts, doctors warn that many close contacts are refusing preventive care, leaving thousands at risk and stalling national efforts to control the disease.
Together, through good and bad times, for Pascual de Deus and his wife, those words were put to the test when tuberculosis hit their family. He now stays with his wife and their youngest child in a tuberculosis treatment center in Tibar, Likisa.
She was only 3 months old when her mother was diagnosed with the disease and she is on exclusive breastfeeding. So we need to bring her here and the doctor allows us to stay here.
Pascual's wife was diagnosed with tuberculosis a month ago and is now receiving intensive treatment at the TBAR Center.
I had a terrible cough, and when I went to see a doctor and had an x-ray, I had a problem in my lungs. So they referred me here, and we have stayed here for more than a month.
Pascual and his 5 children, including the little one, are also actively taking preventive medication.
We listen and comply with the doctor's order. We all take preventive medications so that we are not infected with the disease that my wife has.
Pascual's wife received her initial diagnosis at the Rttl.Ep clinic, one of the country's leading centers for tuberculosis care.
The TB treatment, we don't only do it to the patients, but also all the family members in a household. They need to take preventive therapy and monitor their conditions for 3 years.
Last year, the clinic treated 500 patients with a 98% success rate. Despite being classified as a high TB burden nation, the World Health Organization reports Timor-Leste reduced TB-related deaths by half between 2015 and 2023. This year alone, the Rttl.Ep clinic has detected 254 TB cases, and all of them are now under treatment. However, a challenge remains, as close contacts often refuse to take preventive medication.
Preventive treatment is also very important, especially for people living in the same home as the patient. But the barrier that we face is they often say they are healthy and don't need medical treatment.
The young nation recorded over 6,000 cases in 2023, the highest number of TB infections, a 64% increase from 2 years prior. While Timor-Leste has committed to ending TB by 2030, bridging the gap between successful treatment and community awareness will be essential. Paulina Quintão, Flavio Barros, RTTL World News.
Timorese patients awaiting retinal surgery are one step closer to regaining their sight at a local hospital in Delhi. Last week, the Ministry of Health received a donation of 2 vitrectomy machines from the East Timor Eye Program, an Australian non-profit organization which has been helping restore eyesight in Timor-Leste since 2000.
A long-awaited eye surgery machine arrives in Delhi, offering patients with vision problems a second chance to see. Timorese doctors welcome the new medical device that helps them perform critical vision restoring surgeries.
With the help of this machine, we can treat more patients suffering from vitreoretinal conditions in the back of the eye. The eye has 2 main parts, the anterior and posterior segments, and this machine allows us to target and operate on the posterior segment.
In the first week since the arrival of the new machines, 10 patients have been operated on successfully, and doctors are scheduling more surgeries. For years, patients with retinal conditions had to be sent to Indonesia, Singapore, or Malaysia for treatment. But with these 2 new machines, the surgeries can now be done locally.
We are grateful to the East Timor Eye Program for these new machines, which will significantly reduce patient transfers abroad. Each month, the National Eye Center sends 4 to 5 patients overseas, at a cost of around $30,000 per patient.
Doctors say the new equipment enables immediate surgery to save patients' sight.
The golden time to save the sight of people with severe retinal conditions is 6 hours. We need to do surgery within these critical hours. otherwise the nerves can die and it's hard to restore the vision.
While the new machines are a vital step for eye care, long-term funding and human resource development remain essential to ensuring these life-changing services reach every corner of Timor-Leste.
We have limited human resources, but we are working hard to provide training and build capacity for our local doctors through partnership with universities and institutes in Nepal, Sri Lanka, and Fiji.
Currently, the nation only has 6 national ophthalmologists to provide eye care in the country. For over 2 decades, the East Timor Eye Program has played a crucial role in strengthening eye care services across Timor-Leste.
We started it here in this room and then built it up to what it is today. Today, the program looks after patients from all over the country. It's not only Dili, but Bakau, also Maliana, also Suai, also Okusi, and one day in Mobisi.
In 2023, the East Timor Eye Program officially handed over operations of the National Eye Center to the Ministry of Health.
We remain committed to supporting the program and also to build it up to involve other procedures, other parts of the eye, and take it to the next level. The donation of this machine has been very instrumental. It's the next step in providing a new level of surgery capability in the country.
The 2 machines cost $600,000, a side-saving investment worth every dollar, keeping families close and cutting costly government-funded treatment abroad. Pauline Quintan, Flavio Barros, RTTL World News.
Following the dismissal of the former president of the Iloilo Municipal Authority last month, human rights activist Bella Gaylos joined RTTL World News reporter Pauline Quintan to discuss the allegations and the government's response. The former president was dismissed following allegations of sexual misconduct and abuse after an alleged victim claimed she became pregnant. In part 2 of her interview, Ms. Gaylos discusses the country's child support and protection laws and the broader issue of gender-based violence and discrimination in Timor-Leste.
So how strong is Timor-Leste's child support and protection law?
We created so many laws, protection, children's, yeah. All this is happening here. We have created, we put it, those foundations are there. But the implementation, the author of law, the justice system, are the one going around, and sometimes putting a lot of victims, mothers, lose hope. They feel like they don't want to go to the court anymore. They don't want to go to the police anymore. It's not because our law are the one that weak. The author of, they're not supposed to implement those laws, are the one that's so weak, that insensible towards this kind of issues.
So, Mana, in cases where paternity is disputed, what should a mother do to claim child alimony?
Well, here in Timor, when we're talking about example like a family separated, husband and a wife separated, all women are putting in a position to fight for is the package, nutrition money that a father should be provided to the child. But we all know that money alone is not enough to turn a little girls or boys or son of ours to be a good person. The participation of our parents, mom and dad, into the life of the child is very important. It's not about feeding the child. It's about protecting, educating, be there, and as an example, putting things in action to transform this child to be a great human being in the future. But there are a lot of mothers who did have these cases where they separated from their husband, and the husband already decided in the court that he will help in terms of the finance the child, but most of them are failed to do. Yeah, they didn't even do it. And then when this happened, the mother again going back to the court system to push for the commitment of the father, it's taking such a long time. Some even like years, 2-3 years, the child end up growing up already. you know, and the responsibility of our fathers never be there.
Mana, you have mentioned before that we have an increasing number of the violence against women and children, but we want to know from your perspective, how serious is the issue of gender-based violence in Timor-Leste, and what are the main challenges to preventing it?
As you know, Timor is a very strong patriarchal society. We do have a law putting in place, but like I said, law only is not enough to transform, to change the way of how people thinking about women, about gender issues. But even today, those who are sitting in the high position, when they talk about gender, they say, oh, it's a women's issue. Even though this is not the case. When we're talking about gender, we're talking about everybody's position, everybody's function within the society, whether it is man or woman, to bring the change. Everybody play their role, bring the progress. So the challenge is the way how we change the way how people think about women, the way how people see women. There's not enough. There is not enough example in the country. The top leader must do their job to making sure that women are being protected as well. It's not only being protected, but women should be encouraged to expand their wings in terms of making decisions. Their leadership should be encouraged and respected and recognized. What happened in our society, it's reflect what happened at home. If we don't change this perspective about women's role, start from home, then we cannot see a great leadership of women in the society. Women should have the right to speak. They should not be told what to say. Because if they are encouraged and recognized for whatever they're capable of, they will speak. If they are not being threatening about losing something, losing home, losing husband, losing their own whatever, the properties that actually belong to both husband and wife, most of the cases, women will not get it. Yeah? So all of these factors put women in a position where it's so hard to moving forward. So this is why in this country you only find perhaps not even 10 or not even 5 women who actually stood up and say, enough is enough. I'm going to be standing here and moving forward with or without you. Independent women.
Thank you, Mana, for talking to RTTL World News.
Thank you.
On Sunday, August 2nd, RTTL World News aired a story reporting on a delegation of Australia's parliamentarians visiting Timor-Leste to monitor Australian government-funded projects. As part of the story, we claimed that the Australian government contributed over $20 million to Timor-Leste's development in the last year. A figure sourced from the Timor-Leste Minister of Finance Aid Transparency portal. This figure actually refers to the total disbursement of Australian funds on development activities in Timor-Leste in the last year, according to the Australian government's Department of Foreign Affairs. Australia's official department assistance from 2024 to 2025 totaled $124.4 million Australian dollars, or approximately $87.6 million US dollars. In international news, Facebook's parent company Meta seems to be unable to prevent criminals from using its platform to sell illegal peptides. Scientists say some samples of the substances offered contain almost twice the advertised dose.
At a shopping centre in Brisbane's affluent inner north, an illegal drug deal is underway.
Phil? Yeah, nice to meet you. Thank you. Have a good one. Ta.
This man is a social media marketplace seller, hawking unregulated peptides linked to serious medical side effects. He's selling me melanotan 2, a potentially dangerous tanning injectable. It's forbidden to import or sell. Rules around buying it are blurry.
Internet bought drugs particularly that were not what they said on the box.
Social media is filled with listings like these advertising the illegal drugs. Sellers promise tan skin, rapid weight loss and fast healing. Researcher Timothy Piankovsky tested a range of peptides None contained the advertised dose.
Range from anywhere from about 40% all the way through to 190% of their labelled claims.
Another seller offering weight loss drug Rttl.Ep or Retta sent me this unverified certificate of analysis from a Chinese supplier. But a study has shown at least half of all supplier-provided certificates inflate purity levels.
Anyone can produce any type of document, and it's really, really hard to verify any of those claims.
When we contacted Meta, we were told they had removed the content for violating its policies. But weeks later, peptides were still being listed for sale. Dozens of online retailers also deliver the drugs to your door.
Australia Post is Australia's largest drug dealer. Like, people are ordering things off the internet and having them delivered to their houses.
The Therapeutic Goods Administration has vowed to crack down on sellers, but with many based in China, they could be fighting a losing battle.
Australia's largest showcase of Indigenous facing country to culture has hit their runaway in Darwin, marking a new decade for the blossoming event, celebrating Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander textiles, fashion, culture and knowledge. There is 21 collections from Indigenous artists and designers across the country.
A bold and colourful celebration of Indigenous fashion, the skills, stories and perspectives of First Nations people from across Australia and the Torres Strait taking centre stage at this year's Country to Couture show.
This is the biggest gathering of First Nations creatives in the country.
21 meticulously crafted collections on display over 2 nights in front of packed crowds.
Bringing everything home on the runway is just so beautiful to me, and I just love seeing everyone's stories as well.
The theme of Sunday night's show, carried by our matriarchs, a tribute to the knowledge and artistry of women.
The reason I'm a designer today is because of my mum. She taught me how to sew when I was 4 years old.
Many of the designers here have had their looks featured at Sydney, Melbourne and even New York Fashion Weeks. But they say this event tops it all, because not only does it showcase Indigenous design and fashion, it also helps to promote and preserve Aboriginal culture.
This is a runway that puts us on that platform, and people have to see all about us and learn about us.
The event, now the biggest showcase of Aboriginal fashion design in the country, making its mark on the industry and those who participated.
I could connect with my mob and with my people, and I could hear all the stories about where the garments were made and why they were made.
And then the runway, the creativity, how to use that kind of space, magical, magical.
This runway, a pathway to connection and inspiration.
And now tomorrow's weather, starting with Dili. Mostly sunny with a top temperature of 35 and a low of 19 degrees. Partial sunshine in Bokau, temperatures ranging between 30 and 14 degrees. Partly sunny in Lautem with a high of 28 and a low of 17 degrees. In Bobonalu, partly sunny with a couple of afternoon showers, a top temperature of 30 and a low of 8. And mostly sunny in Eleu, temperatures ranging between 29 and 7. Now looking abroad, partial sunshine in Kupang, a high of 34 and a low of 19. In Bali, sunshine and a few clouds, with temperatures ranging between 34 and 18. Partly sunny in Jakarta with a passing shower in the afternoon, a top of 33 and a low of 24. Very hot and sunny in Seoul, a high of 37 and a low of 29 degrees. In Darwin, sunshine and some clouds, with temperatures ranging between 33 and 20 degrees. Hazy sunshine in Sydney, a high of 19 and a low of 7 degrees. Sunny and warm in Lisbon, temperatures ranging between 31 and 20 degrees. In London, warm with clouds and sunshine, a top temperature of 26 and a low of 15. And in Belfast, sun breaking through clouds at times, a top temperature of 20 and a low of 13 degrees. Thanks for joining us again on the program. RTTL World News will be back with more stories on Sunday. Bye for now.